Before I start the video, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support on my Minecraft animations. You guys are awesome, and I just really wanted to say thank you for just all the likes and the views and everything. It really helps me out on my channel, and it helps me to create better content and just doing what I love to do every day. So thank you guys all for that. Hey everyone, Killshot here, brings my video, and in this video I kind of wanted to show you guys how I make my animations. I've been getting some comments on the videos, and just been asking, like, what software to use, what programs to use, and I did reply to them, of course, but I just kind of wanted to make a video on just how I make my animations in general. My Minecraft animations, the trailers, the teasers, the movies, and the process that I use. Showing you guys just the workflow of just the character creation to the animation to the lighting and etc., all that kind of fun stuff. So one of the first things that I start doing when I'm about to do a trailer or a teaser for a movie is the characters. What characters you see in the trailer and the teaser, and how would I create them. And so I created these a while ago, probably like September or so. But I did remaster them. I added some more details and remodeled a few things. These are just a few of the characters that I created, just to show my workflow and just how I created them. So each character kind of has like a purpose to them. Each character, I think, kind of has something special about them in terms of just creation-wise and just modeling wise. And I'll go through this kind of fast because I kind of want to get to all the elements of just the animation process. So first of all, here's Woody. He was, I think, the very first character I created, and all the modeling work is all original. And so I just I looked at the trailer and I freeze framed it. I kind of used that as a reference to model, all the accessories and things like that on these characters. I'll turn the wireframe right now just so you can see all the designing and everything. Some things are high poly, like kind of a little bit like this, and some things are just kind of normal, like low poly. I textured everything, and everything looks pretty cool, I guess. And by the way, this whole rig is the Maya Minecraft rig V4 by Mama's Boy, and he'll be in the description below if you guys want to go check him out. He does great Minecraft rigs, and I've used his rigs a lot for animations and stuff. So creating Buzz was a challenge for me, especially just all of the armor and accessories that had to be modeled and put on and rigged onto the character. And of course everything is not perfect. I mean, there is some overlapping here, but when it's all kind of animated out and everything, it looks pretty cool. So there's wings right there, fully extended out. Looks really cool, I think, and it worked out really well. So and these can easily be put back in. But really just simple modeling, like nothing too crazy or anything. Overall, I think it turned out really well, just creating Buzz. I also have his shield. Like, of course, Minecraft heads are cubes, and if you have a dome that looks right according to the armor, it doesn't look right, there, right? So it was kind of hard to even to do like the Super Bowl ad. I actually had to increase it and kind of did some I kind of forgot what I did there, but like I kind of made it work somehow, and just with all the reflections and everything. So I did some there, but it is difficult when you're doing with non-Minecraft shapes like spheres and rounded objects. It can definitely get in the way. And then for the teaser, people were complaining that Mrs. Potato Head did not have blue legs, and that is correct. She does not. Instead, I just removed her legs and added on her red shoes, and looks good. So yeah. But this accessory right here, like this, the ears, the head, the ears are the same for both Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. I just added the yellow spheres for the earrings, and for the eyes, all of them are kind of reflective, I guess. and all of them are like movable. So they're all just parented to one another. That's just it. And then the nose, just very kind of simple, just kind of sculpted out nose there. And then just some of the like the eyelashes and everything. So it's not like super complicated, but it just kind of it's just the basics, right? Rex, yeah. So this, everyone was just like, what happened to Rex? Yeah. So Rex, this is what I did. Okay. So on the reg, there's called the lattice, and in the creator, Mama's Boy, he made this like feature called the lattice, and this is what I did, right? So I pulled it out, and they're like, what happened to Rex? Like, oh my gosh, right? And like I can just make his mouth like you're probably looking at this right now like, okay, what the heck is that? But this is how the teaser version looks. Okay, so teaser, and then I mastered the character, trying to make it look a little better. And this is kind of what it came out to be. So I think it's a good. I think it's an improvement, of course. There's definitely changes to be done, but this is just how I'm gonna have like that. Creating Sporky or Forky, whatever it is. This guy was pretty fun, and it was very kind of short and tiny. I mean, it's kind of hard to make a like a fork in Minecraft, so I kind of had to delete the legs and to create little objects here, just a little poly. Probably wondering how I created this. So all I did was I actually just had a cube here, and I just kind of pulled that up, selected all the sides there. Actually, I'll select everything, and then I just beveled that, and then increased the segments, made it white and everything, and then it kind of made a whole little bunch of them right there. So that's kind of how I did him. And everything's all parented, so it all just works kind of like that. And then this is Bo Peep. She kind of had more blockier kind of hair, I guess. Not really blocky, but just kind of more of like a, it wasn't like, there weren't strands of hair. So I just kind of modeled or sculpted this, this hair right here. Also this accessory right there. This was pretty easy. Just kind of did like some curve modeling there. And then this one was Ancloth. So, played the simulation over her character body, and I just kind of paused it where it looked accurate. Added a reflective material so that in Arnold, if you see the whole material itself, it does look a bit reflective, as you can see right here. That actually, the lighting right now, all this right here, it looks really cool. Yeah, and Arnold is the render that I use. It is a fantastic render. I love it. It has helped me out a lot. I'm learning V-Ray currently, and probably Redshift in the future, but currently it is Arnold, and it's working out fantastic. So then we get to the Gabby character, which is revealed or shown in the trailer. And here I use the interactive groomable splines, which is found right here. So I might do a tutorial on this soon, just kind of like how to create like hair for like characters or something like that. But this is what I used to create Gabby, and I changed just the color of the hair, and I just used Arnold shader for it. So that's that. Yeah, so it's kind of, and of course I did a lot more. I mean, there's a lot more characters I did. And each character probably took about, I would say, like an hour or two to make. I'm not super sure. So after I created the characters and everything, I mainly go to the environment or the scene creation, and that's where things get kind of fun and a little bit creative. So yeah. So when I go to create the scene for the animation, what I usually do is I go into Minecraft Java version, not the Windows 10 version, not Xbox One. I just go, standard Java edition, and I go in the world and I build something that looks a little bit like this. So this was the opening scene right here. Sorry about the camera and everything. It's all like weird. Anyway, so this was the camera right here, or just this scene right here, and it has all the characters in it. It has everybody, or not like, almost, maybe ever, I think, I don't know, something like that. It has almost all the characters in there, and here is just that backpack, again, very like just simple, low poly, and here's Woody, and if I go over to the camera one, this was, the animation, right? So the scene creation, is in the background here, and of course I made the characters smaller than the real world, the Minecraft objects, just to make that perspective and and just to make them feel like they're toys. So as you can see, I had to actually literally animate, and this comes into the animation as well. So like I had to move all these red lines here are keyframes, and I had to keyframe everything there. And then it's kind of like the hey, whatever, and they're always saying hi, here's Pig, just all this like crazy, and then he kind of freaks out. And then I did some interesting effect, kind of special effects here. This is just a really simple eye, and all I did was put that right inside of his head, so that when he falls, it pops right out. That's all I did. But in the camera angle, his little foot right here, it blocks it. So it's a little bit of like a, interesting way of doing it, but that's how I did it. And then Woody comes over, and then just more characters talking there, and then that scene would end right there. So, and if you're wondering how I got the eye to go away, it's just right here. I just moved it up, so it would look like this one would just fit right in there. But yeah, so all this, the keyframes and everything, just how everything works. Yeah, so this was kind of like one of the scenes here. And also after I create the world, I load it up into Mineways. Now I'll load up a scene here from the Minecraft Java edition, and I could just select that, and then I could just hit OK there. File, export for rendering with the terrain file selected, and that's how I kind of got my that Minecraft world into an actual mesh object for 3D. So lighting is very important in animation in terms of how you light the character and the environment, and if it's lit really well, then it looks like it's a really good shot. So I'm just going to open up the Arnold render viewer right here, and I just kind of want to show you guys just kind of the process of how things work. And so when I press play here, you can see obviously the lighting right there. It was kind of hard because I didn't really know if there's like a window right here. I know there's like some sort of window right here, but then that scene blocked it right there. And so with this directional light right here, this was like the main sun, right? So it's like the main sunlight right there. So if I even selected the directional light and I just pointed that like way up, it would there wouldn't be any direct lighting in that area. So also this scene this light right here, kind of like an overhead light. So if I moved that out of the way, it kind of changes some things. But I could always make these like super like crazy high. Like this is 10,000. Let's do like 1 million for fun. And you can see it's completely washed out. So it's kind of it's fun to play around with the lighting. I mean, you don't want it too crazy, but you want it to look good. But as you can see, there's like this overhead light lighting the entire room. There's like the sun right here, which I'll try to see if I can put it back to where it was. Probably like right about there. I'm not super sure. That looks about right. I don't know. But yeah, so it's all just playing around and trying to see like what works. And yeah, so I'll go to the camera one shape right here, and that's kind of like that shot. I mean, lighting is a little bit brighter up here, but it does kind of highlight a lot of the character as well, and just the shading in between all the characters. I mean, lighting is one of my favorite parts of just doing the animation, because if you can get the lighting really good, then you can really sell the shot. Like, it's really cool. Speaking about rendering, so rendering does take a lot of time. And it could be like a couple hours, it could be a day, it could be 3 days long. Usually for an animation or a trailer like this, it's usually about 4 to 8 hours per scene. All with using Arnold, and my ideal render settings. This is the settings I always use. I always do JPEG right there. Set my frame limits to just to start and where the end frame is. The camera 1, which is like this whole camera scene right here. 1080p always, but 1080p works totally fine. Very sharp and everything. But usually it's like 3, 2, 1, and then 0 to 0 for all these. That's what I usually do for camera AA and stuff. And you guys probably don't know what this is, but if you have the camera at like -1 and you look at the shot, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look all noisy and grainy, all like all weird and everything, you know, doing it like that. But if you increase it to like 3, which is 2 and 3 are usually like my main ones, then it has to render through. And I have, I'll probably put my computer specs probably like right here so you can see them. But yeah, it's an Intel Core i7-8700K clocked at 3.7 gigahertz, but it can go all the way up to, I think, 4.3, I think, yeah. Yeah, so 12 threads at 4.3 gigahertz, so it's pretty good, pretty fast. As you can see, I mean, it's still going. 1080p, it's all the way around, all these little cubes rendering and everything, so, or like squares. Or rendering squares, whatever it is. But yeah, I use Arnold. This whole thing is Arnold. Just everything's Arnold here. Arnold is the renderer that I use, as I said, you know, earlier, for the animation and everything, and the shading and how it renders out the light is really cool. So that's kind of just all the lighting and stuff. And if you guys are wondering about like how I time it so well, because I don't have any audio here. Like there's no sound, there's no voices. And of course, you know, they're talking and everything. What I do is I just go on my other monitor on my left, which you can't see, but I have another monitor on my left, and that shows the trailer, and I kind of just time it in my head of where, you know, of when they say things and when they show things and what happens, whatnot. I just kind of time it in my head, and it usually works out pretty well in the end when it's fully renders. And so when I put it into Final Cut Pro, which I'll show you soon with the editing, you know, it works out really well there, because it's synced a little bit better, you know, just because of the. So now let's jump over to the compositing and syncing. So after I have all of the animation rendered and completed, I load it all up into Final Cut Pro 10 on my iMac from 2013. It's like a mid-range i5 8GB RAM, you know, Mac, and I load it up into Final Cut Pro. And I overlay the Toy Story 4, like the original trailer, the original official trailer, on top of it, and then I put my animation below it. As you can see, and there's a lot of cuts and like, you know, blue and yellow banners over the Minecraft footage. And what that basically is, I'm just syncing it, which means making some clips faster and some clips slower, so it can match up with the original trailer. And so I had to sync every single frame. It was just a lot of editing, a lot of work to get, you know, just right. And yeah, that took about a good about like 2 or 3 hours to do the entire thing. But I loved doing it, and it was a lot of fun. And it came out really well in my opinion. And yeah, so overall, you know, just the whole project wise, I mean, the trailer took me about 5 days. The teaser took me about like 8 hours or so to do. And I really enjoyed doing them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like down below if you did. If you have any questions about like any PC specs or technical things or anything like that, please leave them down in the comments below, and I would love to answer them. And yeah, subscribe for more content, and I'll probably be having some more videos coming out soon. And yeah, so if you've watched this song, that's awesome. I know this one's a little bit longer of a video, but I just want to show you guys how it was all done. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.